Yo, Celtics Nation, you ready for a day that'll get your heart racing? We're diving into some news that's gonna hit every die-hard Boston fan right in the feels. We've got 4 piping hot updates straight from the oven covering everything, from injuries that have us on edge to twists that could flip our season upside down. Can the C's bounce back from that last game? What's the deal with our stars? You won't believe what's coming. So grab a seat, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's jump into the action. What's your prediction for the next game? Alright, Celtics Nation, brace yourselves because the first bombshell is a nail biter. After a gut-wrenching Game 1 loss to the Knicks, where we blew a 20-point lead in an epic collapse, the talk of the town is our guy Jaylen Brown. Yup! The dude who was finals MVP in our last championship run. Bill Simmons dropped a concern on his podcast that's got everyone buzzing. Brown's knee is holding him back, and he's not the bulldozer who dominated the 2024 playoffs. Let's break down just how big this issue is. In Game 1, Brown still put up 23 points, 7 boards, and 5 assists. But something was off. Simmons nailed it. He's not got that same burst. This isn't the Jaylen we saw torching Dallas in the finals. Among the wings on the floor, including the Knicks, Brown was the least impactful. That's a red flag, because let's be real, he's the engine of this team. While Jason Tatum shines and Derek White runs the show, Brown brings the fire, lockdown defense, and clutch leadership. But with that bum knee, rumored to have been an issue since February or March, what's left for the rest of this series? The fan base is split. On X, I saw a post like, Jaylen's playing through pain, show some respect, and others doom and glooming. If he's not 100%, the Knicks are gonna run us over. Game 1 exposed a weakness we didn't see coming. The Celtics missed a jaw-dropping 45 three-pointers, an NBA record, and Brown didn't hit a single one. That's not just bad luck. It's a sign his confidence is shaken. Without Brown's wrecking ball mode, the Knicks get room to exploit mismatches, especially with Jalen Brunson, who's absolutely cooking. The stakes? If Brown can't get back to form, this series already 1-0 against us could turn into a nightmare. He's the guy who guards the other team's best wing, slices to the rim like a knife, and leads by example. Without him at his peak, the load falls on Tatum, and the Knicks' suffocating defense will clamp down even harder. Joe, Mazzulla's gotta tweak the game plan, maybe giving Peyton Pritchard more minutes to spark the offense. But the truth is, without 20-24 Jaylen Brown, the road to a repeat gets a whole lot narrower. And while we're freaking out over this, there's another update that'll make you rethink everything about Game 2. Can the C's turn it around, or are we digging a deeper hole? Stick around, because the next bombshell is coming right up. Yo, Celtics Nation, still reeling from the Jaylen Brown situation. Hold tight, because the next update is a ray of hope in the middle of the storm. After that Game 1 meltdown against the Knicks, where we coughed up a 20-point lead and fell 180 to 105 in overtime, a critical update just dropped. Kristaps Porzingis, our 7-2 unicorn, is listed as probable for Game 2. But, as every Celtics fan knows, nothing's ever that straightforward with this team. Let's unpack what this means for the squad and the series. In Game 1, Porzingis left in the first half due to an illness. Not COVID, per the report, but something that's been bugging him since the end of the regular season. He played just 13 minutes, scored 0 points, grabbed 4 rebounds, and dished 1 assist. Without him, the paint was a free-fall, and the Knicks, led by Jalen Brunson, feasted. Losing our big man hurt our rim protection and floor spacing, since he's a threat both in the post and from deep. Now, hearing he's probable for Game 2 set for Wednesday in Boston feels like a lifeline. But what's the real impact? Porzingis, even if he's not the all-star he once was, is a game changer. In the first round against the Orlando Magic, he averaged 12 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 1.8 steals in 27 minutes a game. It's not just stats. He shifts the game. With him on the court, the Knicks defense has to respect his outside shot, which opens driving lanes for Tatum and Brown. Plus, he's one of the few who can hold his own against Karl Anthony Towns. In the paint, fans on X are hyped with posts like, KP's back, we're crushing it. Though some worry he might not be at full strength, Joe Mazzulla, the head coach, gave some context. He's been dealing with this illness since he came back fighting to play. That begs the question, Even if he suits up, will we get the Porzingis we need? If he's limited, like in Game 1, the Knicks will pounce, especially after proving they can stage comebacks. Tactically, Mazzulla could lean on Porzingis for pick and pop plays to stretch the defense, but he'll need to shield him from heavy physical matchups. If Porzingis comes back strong, Game 2 could be our shot to tie the series. But while we're cheering this news, there's another issue lurking in the roster that could throw a wrench in everything. Are the C's ready to fight back, or are we headed for another stumble? The next update will blow your mind. Celtics Nation, if you thought Porzingis' return was the light at the end of the tunnel, hold up. The injury report for Game 2 against the Knicks just dropped a bombshell that's got fans on edge. While Kristaps Porzingis is probable, our bench sharpshooter, Sam Hauser, is listed as questionable with a right ankle sprain. Yup, the guy who's a three-point sniper might sit out when we desperately need his long-range shooting. Let's dive into what's at stake. In Game 1, Hauser played just 4 minutes before limping off, spotted in a walking boot, per Steve Bulpett of Heavy On Sports. He went scoreless, missing both shots he took, and his absence was felt. Remember those 45 missed threes? Hauser's the kind of player who could have changed that narrative. In the regular season, he played 71 games, averaging 8.5 points and shooting 41.6% from deep. Against Orlando in the first round, he dropped 16 points in games 4 and 5. Losing him now, with the Knicks breathing down our necks, is a massive blow. The fan base is feeling the heat. On X, I saw a post like, "No Hauser, our bench has no spark," and others holding out hope. If KP's back, we can cover. But let's keep it real. Hauser's not just a shooter. He brings energy, floor spacing, and takes pressure off. Tatum and Brown. Without him, Mazzulla's forced to reshuffle the bench, likely leaning on Peyton Pritchard or even rookie Baylor Shireman. Problem is, neither has Hauser's deadly three-point touch, and that could be a killer against the Knicks' aggressive defense. Tactically, Hauser's absence gives the Knicks an edge. They can pack the paint knowing the perimeter's less of a threat. Jaylen Brunson, who tore us apart in Game 1, gets even more room to operate. And if Porzingis isn't at 100%, as Mazzulla hinted, we're in trouble on both ends. The coach said Hauser's fighting to return, but an ankle sprain's no joke, and rushing him back could make things worse. If Hauser's out, Game 2 becomes a gut check for the Celtics bench. Can we make up for it with defense and grit, or are we headed for another collapse? And while we're processing this, there's one final update that'll make you question everything about this series. Are the C's cursed, or is this just a test for the repeat? Stay locked in, Celtics Nation. If you thought the drama was already too much, buckle up for this final bombshell that'll get your blood pumping. The Knicks didn't just steal Game 1 in Boston with an insane 20-point comeback to win 108-105 in overtime. They showed they're out for blood. Jaylen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and company exploited every crack in our armor, with our team grappling with injuries and an NBA record 45 missed three-pointers. Let's break down how this nightmare went down and what it means for Game 2. It looked like smooth sailing early on. The C's built a massive lead, with Karl Anthony Towns in foul trouble. Then chaos hit. Porzingis left with an illness, Hauser twisted his ankle, and Jaylen Brown, hobbled by his knee, couldn't carry the load. Meanwhile, Brunson, quiet until the fourth, erupted for 11 points and nearly won it with a floater. In OT, Bridges, who was 2 for 12, drained a dagger 3. Knicks fans on X are losing it. Boston choked. This series is ours. Celtics fans, some are calling it a historic embarrassment. What stings is how we unraveled, missing 45 threes. Isn't just an off night, it's a wake-up call. Without Porzingis in the paint and Hauser on the arc, we got predictable, and the Knicks, fresh off beating Detroit in the first round, pounced. Brunson's playing like an MVP, and their defense is smothering our wings. Tactically, Mazzulla's got to rethink everything for Game 2. If Porzingis returns, as expected, he can pull Towns out of the paint and open the floor. But without Hauser, the bench lacks punch, and Brown needs to rediscover his swagger. The series is 1-0, and dropping Game 2 at home would be catastrophic. The Knicks head to New York for Game 3 with momentum, and we all know how the Garden rocks. Fans are torn. Some believe Tatum will lead the comeback. Others fear injuries spell doom. On X, one fan summed it up. If we don't lock down Brunson, it's over. Mazzulla needs answers fast. Maybe more Al Horford to contain Towns and unleashing Pritchard for outside shots. So as we lick our wounds from this loss, what's Game 2 got in store? Will the C's show their championship DNA? Or are we staring down the barrel? The next part's gonna make you want to sound off in the comments. Celtics Nation, what a roller coaster. Jaylen Brown's battling through a bad knee. Porzingis is half in, half out with his illness. Hauser's likely sidelined for Game 2. And that humiliating loss to the Knicks laid our flaws bare. The C's are on the ropes. Do we have the guts to flip this series, or will injuries sink us? Game 2 is do or die, and we gotta shut down Brunson. Now I want to hear from you. Can Mazzulla fix this mess, or are the Knicks already sizing up the trophy? Drop your takes in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe.